Have you ever felt it? One moment she's texting you back instantly, laughing at your jokes and making plans with excitement. And the next, she's distant, distracted, barely responding, leaving you confused, frustrated, and questioning yourself. You replay every interaction in your mind, wondering, did I say the wrong thing? Did I do something to push her away? Or is there a hidden psychological mechanism at work that most men never notice? Here's the truth most men never see. Women don't lose interest randomly. Attraction isn't about looks, money, or even shared interests. It's a living, dynamic process, a complex system of subconscious cues, emotional energy, and psychological triggers. And if you miss these invisible signals, her interest can vanish in ways that feel sudden, unfair, and inexplicable. Women's brains are constantly assessing more than just what you say. They are evaluating the emotional resonance you create, the behavioral consistency you demonstrate, and the subtle signals of value you emit. Emotional energy is the single most critical currency in this evaluation. Her brain scans for signals of availability, confidence, and engagement. When she perceives inconsistency, hesitation, or insecurity, even subtly, her subconscious begins to downregulate desire. This is why attraction can fade, even when nothing obvious has changed. You might still be funny, kind, and reliable, but her brain is scanning far below the surface. It notices microsignals, the slight hesitation before you respond to her message, the tone of your words, the tiny shifts in your body language. Over time, these signals accumulate, and the subconscious mind concludes that you may no longer meet the emotional and psychological criteria it initially evaluated. Perceived scarcity versus availability is another critical psychological factor. Humans are wired to assign value based on perceived accessibility. When a man is overly available, predictable, or easy to please, her brain unconsciously devalues him. Novelty and unpredictability activate the dopamine circuits that create excitement and emotional engagement. Without these triggers, the subconscious mind stops generating the chemical signals that sustain attraction. This is why men who chase, overtext, or try too hard to please often find themselves losing interest, not because they're bad men, but because they violate a fundamental psychological principle. Emotional chemistry is the silent, often invisible driver of attraction. This is not about surface-level traits. It's about psychological resonance. Women are drawn to men who provoke curiosity, intrigue, and a balance of challenge and reward. The brain interprets these patterns as exciting, stimulating, and worthy of attention. If this spark is missing, even when she enjoys your company, shares common interests, or finds you physically attractive, her subconscious disengages. Over-texting, over-explaining, or being too predictable kills this chemistry far faster than most men realize. Many men unknowingly sabotage attraction through subtle behavioral patterns. Seeking validation is one of the most damaging. When a man constantly looks for approval, he signals insecurity and low self-worth. The subconscious mind reads this as a reduction in value. Similarly, over-availability erodes interest. Predictability, though safe and comfortable, removes the tension and novelty that fuel desire. Indecisiveness, lack of boundaries, and emotional overreaction all reinforce signals of low status and reduced value. Women also conduct subconscious tests to evaluate emotional stability. Withdrawal, for example, is rarely rejection. It's a probe. The brain is assessing whether you can maintain calm, on confidence and emotional independence. Panic chasing, or overreacting, signals low status, accelerating her disinterest. Calm, confident responses, on the other hand, increase perceived value and maintain engagement at a subconscious level. Interest is further influenced by perceived autonomy and independence. The subconscious mind prioritizes partners who maintain their own life, goals, and emotional boundaries while remaining present and engaged. Attempts to control her, invade her space, or demand constant attention trigger subtle disengagement. Curiosity and unpredictability are equally important. Predictability reduces dopamine release and emotional arousal, making the relationship feel stagnant over time. Even micro-signals, how quickly you respond to messages, how you navigate conflict, or how you initiate conversations, feed into her mental assessment. Her brain is constantly asking, does he provide excitement? Does he balance stability with unpredictability? Does he demonstrate confidence and independence? Each of these questions influences her level of interest, often without her consciously realizing it. A man's mindset is crucial in this dynamic. Perceived value often outweighs objective traits. Confidence, decisiveness, emotional resilience, and self-growth signal high value. Conversely, neediness, insecurity, and emotional volatility signal low value. Women respond automatically to these cues. Attraction is maintained or lost based on them. Maintaining interest requires understanding these hidden psychological patterns. Emotional consistency, strategic absence, controlled unpredictability, and playful challenge all sustain attraction. Balancing engagement with autonomy and intrigue with trust activates the subconscious reward system that keeps her emotionally invested. Even small behavioral mistakes, over-texting, attempting to fix her emotions constantly, or neglecting self-development, can reduce her subconscious engagement. Her mind interprets these behaviors as signals of low status, predictability, or reduced value. Conversely, men who maintain emotional stability, assertiveness, and intrigue keep her mind engaged at a deeper psychological level. Ultimately, women lose interest not because of superficial flaws, but because of cognitive and emotional misalignments. Interest is not binary. It exists on a spectrum influenced by subconscious evaluations of emotional energy, psychological value, novelty, and curiosity. Understanding these patterns allows men to navigate attraction consciously, avoid common mistakes, and maintain meaningful connection over time. Attraction is a living psychological system, sensitive to subtle cues and influenced by both conscious and unconscious behavior. By mastering emotional consistency, confidence, and intrigue, men can maintain engagement, deepen connection, and prevent the slow erosion of interest that occurs when these psychological principles are ignored.